What's up, YouTube? What if I told you this card, Dragoonity Remus, was an insane starter for the Doomz that not only is great for baiting interactions, but drastically raises the ceiling for the deck to create an awesome end board. It really helps that these cards are wind attribute and dragon type as well, so we can play under any of the locks that they provide with no problems at all. And yeah, I don't want to waste anybody's time, so let's get right into the games. Alright guys, for the first replay I'm going to go over, you all briefly saw this game a second ago in the intro, and the only reason why I want to show this duel against Odeon is because I'm able to full combo and highlight what the deck is supposed to do. Afterwards, I'll showcase a match between myself and Kashtira K9, so if you aren't really interested in what this deck can create, if you're not really interested in what the end board is for this particular deck, feel free to skip ahead and go to the interesting match against Kashtira K9. But real quick, however, I do want to go over this. We do have full combo with Remus in our hand, and I would just like to showcase it. Now, of course, I did say we were going against Odeon, so he's going to attempt to activate Treasures to Search, and we are going to Ash Blossom that, and that will abruptly end his turn. Really sucks for our opponent, but it's great for us. So, as said, he's going to end his turn. We are going to draw, and here we go. We are going to start our combo with the Dragoonity Remus. I apologize. And we're going to get our Dragon's Ravine. Now, this card is amazing. I don't think I really need to talk about how good this card is. With our first effect, we are going to send Tempest to the graveyard, the Dragon Ruler. Now, Legacious is able to special summon himself just because we have Ravine on the field, and Remus is going to special summon himself, so that way we can Synchro Summon here. Now, Remus does get banished after the Synchro Summon, but don't worry, we're going to bring him back later with Pisty. Now, Dragoonity Knight, Dirg is going to search Zephyros. Zephyros is then going to get pitched, and then Zephyros can special summon himself by returning the Dragon's Ravine. Now, the beginning of this combo, I'm sure a lot of you guys are really familiar with. If you have ever encountered Dragoonity in the past, all of what I'm doing so far is pretty linear in their strategy as well too. Now, when we go to summon Romulus here, I didn't need to do this. Because we already had Glow in hand, as Glow is the only other search. However, I wanted to showcase exactly how this line should work and the correct way in going about doing it, so we are now going to activate Glow here and get our Mistletoe. Mistletoe will then tribute the Romulus, special summoning itself, and equipping the Dirg. Now, Glow will be able to special summon the Dirg, and because this card is soft once per turn, we can activate it again. Now, for our second activation, we are going to be getting Eclipse Wyvern. Eclipse Wyvern, when sent to the graveyard, is going to be able to banish the Nocto. Now, the Tempest is how we are going to trigger the Eclipse Wyvern's second effect, which is going to allow us to add the Nocto Vision to our hand. From here, we can special summon a Tomb. Now, a Tomb is super important because this card is our bridge into Doomz. You guys will see that here in just a second. So, a Tomb is going to special summon out a Malt. Amal is then going to search for our Ilara, and if you guys did not notice yet, we have not used our normal summon. So Ilara is going to be our normal summon, which, as you know from my past videos or just from playing yourself, Ilara is full Doomz combo on her own. Now, the Nocto Vision is really cool. Because we special summoned a Dark Dragon, we can actually chain block the Amalth. I don't know who would be saving interaction this late into the combo, but if for whatever reason you're going against a weird opponent and they just decide to hold interaction to see what you're doing and to see how you cook, you don't really have to fear too much about a Malt getting negated unless they have targeting interaction, because the Nocto Vision is going to be able to chain block it. So, as said, I don't know who's going to be saving interaction this late into the combo, but if they do, you at least have some sort of chain block for your Doomz plays, which I think is pretty cool. Now, Nocto Vision is going to special summon out himself, and Amalth is going to search our Ilara. From here, we are going to make a Link 2. For the purposes of this replay, I just use Galaxy Satellite Dragon. You can, however, use other generic Link 2 dragons. Keep in mind, you are fully locked into dragon at this point. As soon as you special summon Remus from the graveyard, you are locked entirely to dragon. So if there are other dragons that you want to use, like the Buster Whelp, for example, if you wanted to play like a Buster Blader version of Doomz, which, wink wink, that's definitely not coming soon. But yeah, you know, here I just needed a generic Link 2 dragon in order to clear a board space and to set up a Pisty play. Now, Noctivision, when used as a link, is going to draw us a card. You know, we drew into the Alara, which, that's fine, whatever. This is going to be any other random card. But yeah, then we are going to use Satellite and Tempest in order to make our triple burst, so that way we have Pisty plays. Pisty is going to bring back the Remus, as I said earlier, and the reason why this is important is because Remus is actually a tuner. And the reason why this is important is because Gorgeous, their new Link monster, requires a tuner. Now, on Summon, this card is actually crazy. On Summon, we get to special summon a level 5 or higher Dragoonity monster from our extra deck or graveyard. My target of choice is Ariad Bear. Now, this card is just really good because it's a monster negate, but it's a continuing monster negate, you know what I mean? In order to negate, you have to banish a Dragoonity from your graveyard in order to negate and banish. Well, at the end of our combo, we're going to have like 5 names. So it's going to have a lot of recurring negate, which is great for us. Now, Alara is going to come down. As said, this is our normal summon, and we are going to choose to set Destruction. Now, normally when you're doing this combo, you're going to go for Raiders to keep extending. Luckily, we opened it on our hand. Going to play the Ravine just cuz. Ravine's going to send Alara, and we are going to send another Remus to the graveyard just to give our Ariad an extra name. Now, do you have to send the Remus? No, you can send whatever else you want. Like maybe if you want to play Bish Dealers, you can send a Saranir here or something like that in order to just get more names into the graveyard. But, you know, I just wanted to send another Dragoonity for just an extra name. Now, Raiders here is going to pop the Alara in order to get out Drostia. The reason why I did it in this particular fashion is just because we are going for lethal. Now, normally, your end board would be the, instead of having the Gorgeous and Pisty still on the field, I actually choose to get rid of both of these cards for Spheres. Now, the big reason why I do that, I understand that this is a spell trap negate. However, the Ariad, doing so gives the Ariad an extra name engraved, plus Spheres is just an FTK, bro, like that's what we're going for. So normally your end board would be Spheres, Ariad Bear, and the Drostia, obviously. Now Destruction was just an extra bonus because we opened really well. That is not a constant that's going to be appearing on your end board, so just before anybody says anything about that, I'm going to give you guys a heads up. And from there, we are just going to win the game by going into the battle phase. Good game to the Odeon fellow, and I appreciate him so much for staying so that way I can showcase this full combo. Now, without further ado, let's get into a game where we actually have some interaction. Okay guys, now that I've shown you what the full combo looks like, let's take a look at this duel we had against Kashtira K9 since we were offered a little bit more interaction. So here, we are going to start off our turn with a Theo Realize, which is going to Foolish Medius, and we are going to reveal Kashtira or Riseheart. Now, on Medius activation, we are, unfortunately, there's Azuna, right? Everybody knows what Azuna is going to do. She's going to send the Lupus, and with Medius, I'm going to return our Drostia. Now, on summon, Medius and Azuna are both going to trigger. Medius is going to be able to summon out our Power Patron, and of course, Azuna is sending Lupus to the graveyard. Now, on resolution, Lupus is going to special summon itself, and he's going to allow us to play. Now, as soon as we activate our Power Patron effect, he's going to trigger Lupus. Here, I can't lie, I thought that I was going to be expecting a Valon, so it was kind of surprising when Jax was summoned to the field. I certainly was not expecting Jax in this moment, but you know what? We're going to roll with it. Diactorus on summon is going to be able to activate his effect, which allows us to pop a Doomz on the field, and then we get to pop a monster afterwards. So, our guy is going to get popped, and our Diactorus is going to be able to also pop the Jax. So we get to clear his field at the exact same time that he's clearing ours. The difference is that now we get to chain all 3 names. So Diactorus is going to be able to trigger, Ilara is going to be able to trigger, and the Power Patron are all going to be able to trigger because of this. So we're going to be able to search a Moth with our Power Patron. Ilara is going to set Raider so we can continue extending, and Diactorus is going to grab our Angelic Ring, which is a negate. Now, here we are going to get rid of the Jax by summoning the Magnamut. Now, Magnamut here is just going to be able to search us a dragon in the end phase, which, you know, going into this duel, my end phase search was Dragoonity Remus, so that way we had full combo follow-up during the next turn. Here we are going to use our normal summon on Amalth and search the Drostia. Drostia is then going to pop the Amalth, special summoning itself and equipping itself with Doom Durg. Then we are able to play the Angelic Ring and pass. During the end phase, of course, we were able to get the Remus. Alrighty, during the standby phase, we have to take 500 points of damage, and right away our opponent is going to burn the Angelic Ring effect with Crossout Designator. Now, he is going to activate the Scareclaw Kestura effect, which is going to special summon himself by banishing a different cache name. So, on that effect declaration, we are also going to turn our Drostia into Drostius. Now, Drostius on special summon is going to be able to yeet the Scareclaw Kestura. Okay, and with that being said, we also still have a monster negate and a yeet off of Drostia, so we still have interaction. Now, our opponent is going to summon out Lantern and revive the Azuna. Of course, now he is going to go into his Ripper plays, and on the activation of Ripper, we are of course able to chain our Drostius, negating that effect and yeeting it for ourselves. Now, our opponent is then going to immediately go to the end phase. Kind of unfortunate for him. I still feel like, you know, whenever I play K9, I put a lot of love into Valon. I definitely would have summoned Valon instead of Jax in that situation. And knowing that I had a monster negate, I mean, obviously this card in his hand is dead, so there wasn't really a lot that he could do. He probably didn't have a ton of options, but I think, you know, I would have tried to do something before just going into Ripper. You know, but it is what it is. The opponent probably didn't have much of a choice. So he's going to give it to us, and we're going to activate Remus. Remus is going to search the Dragon Ravine, and as soon as we play the Dragon's Ravine, our opponent is going to scoop it up. He knows that we have lethal. But yeah, man, I just wanted to kind of showcase what this deck could do through a little bit of interaction. We did lose our Diactorus and stuff. You know, unfortunately, because he used Jax, it didn't hurt us in the way that it probably could have if we got Book of Moon, for example, instead. But, you know, it's still K9, it's still a great deck. They're playing Kashtira as well as a supplementary engine, which a lot of people know can be a threat. So, yeah, this is what the deck looks like when you're playing into a little bit of interaction. I'm going to be making tons more variants of Doomz in the future, as you guys know. And, yeah. That's pretty much it, man. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video so much. I'm sorry if it was a little bit longer than some of my other ones. I'm trying my best to keep them around the 10-minute mark, although sometimes that can be a little difficult, especially in videos like this, where I want to showcase an entire combo line and then showcase an actual duel. You know, if there are people out there who watch my videos, please comment down below if you enjoy seeing, like, the whole combo line, or if you just only want to see the duels with interaction. That way in the future, you know, I can change up the videos to how you guys like them. Maybe some people don't like seeing the replays in the beginning because it ruins stuff. You know, I can take that sort of thing out as well. Just let me know in the comments down below. I hope you all enjoyed the video. I love you so much, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!